Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending tonight's commencement ceremony of Ozarks Technical Community College. We would like to remind you to please silence your cell phones. Thank you. The ceremony will begin in a few minutes.
I'd love to give a big shout out to Mr. Justin Frazee, my instructor in the construction technology program, one of the best teachers I've ever had.
From the LPN program, Tracy Liska was awesome, and I have lots of people to thank for the ASN program. Tina Wheeler, Miss Inman, all of them. They're awesome.
Shout out to my parents and my grandparents and my husband.
Jennifer Dunkel, my first semester, she was really influential.
My kids, they're my biggest cheerleaders.
And my family supported me along the way, and Melissa, my disability support counselor.
Probably my fiance. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. He pushed me as hard as I could to get it.
Mr. Vincent, I just love him.
I would definitely say my instructors at OTC in the dental program.
The people at the disability office, like Trixie, who used to be here, Jeff, they've helped me a lot.
I did have Dr. Ferguson as an instructor for 2 semesters, and I'd say that he had the greatest impact on me.
Karen Creighton. I love her so much. I've also missed the librarians at the Richard Valley campus. They've been really kind and nice to me as well.
One of my instructors, Mr. Cosma, was pretty influential, I would say. He helped me through some of his classes, and he was a good instructor.
I would definitely say my instructors, but not only my instructors, but my classmates and my peers. We're all in the same boat together, so, we powered through.
I joined Politically Active last semester, so it's been really nice being able to have a close relationship with Mr. Crocker and Ms. Griffith.
I'd probably say my dad, since he's very supportive and very proud. I've never seen the man cry, and he started crying the other day when he was talking about my graduation.
evening. Please remain standing. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 commencement ceremony of Ozarks Technical Community College. Tonight is a joyous and special night on which we celebrate together the academic achievements of our students. To the graduates in front of me and all of you, their family and friends, tonight is your night. But for all of us at OTC, the faculty, staff, administration, and Board of Trustees, it is also our night. Being here to witness the achievements of our students is an honor. Thank you, graduates, for choosing us to be a part of your journey. You have worked hard to reach this day, and we are all so very proud of you. Thank you to all who are gathered here this evening to celebrate with us. I now welcome veteran graduate, First Sergeant Retired Mario Gonzalez, to lead us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Then, please remain standing for the national anthem, sung by graduate Brandon Burks. Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. We are pleased to welcome several honored guests to tonight's commencement ceremony. Joining me on the platform are key administrators of Ozarks Technical Community College, as well as our Board of Trustees. These leaders are vital to the continued success of the programs and of our students. We are grateful for the time and commitment they bring to the college and for their presence at today's ceremony. Please hold your applause until all the platform guests have been introduced. In the front row, from my right to left, are Ms. Catherine Moore, Secretary of the Board of Trustees, Ms. Paula Adams, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Paul Sunday, Chair of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Jack Stack, our keynote speaker, Mr. Larry Snyder, Treasurer of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Howard Fisk, Member of the Board of Trustees, and Mr. John Gentry, Member of the Board of Trustees. In the back row from my right to left are Dr. Dusty Childress, OTC Education Center's President, Dr. Rob Griffith, Table Rock Campus President, Dr. Cliff Davis, Ridgewood Valley Campus President, Mr. Rob Rector, Vice Chancellor for Administrative Services, Ms. Sharon Day, Chief Financial Officer, Dr. Joan Barrett, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, and Dr. Tracy McGrady, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Please recognize them with a round of applause. The faculty and staff of the college have been critical to the education process for our graduates. Many of these people are here tonight. First, I'd like to ask all of our faculty to please stand. Students, family, and friends, this is the best faculty in the United States of America, and let's give them a great hand. Faculty, remain standing for a moment. Now, staff, join your faculty, and let's thank our staff as well. Thank you. You may be seated. Our graduates have counted on the support of their loved ones as they have worked toward their educational goals. The encouragement of family and friends has been instrumental in helping each of our graduates accomplish what we were here tonight to celebrate. Would the family and friends of our graduates please stand? Family, friends, let's stand. Graduates, let's clap. Thank you, family and friends. We'd also like to recognize the veterans and active military members with us tonight, both graduates and guests alike. Veterans and active military, please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you for your service. Finally, thank you to the elected officials, area boards members, school, community college leaders, and other leaders here tonight. Your support of Ozarks Technical Community College and of Southwest Missouri students is most appreciated. Thank you for coming. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Paul Sunday, Chair of the Board of Trustees, a key player in the revitalization of downtown Springfield. Mr. Sunday is a local entrepreneur and co-owner and operator of Springfield's Big Whiskeys. After many years on the OTC Foundation, he was elected to the Board of Trustees in 2018, but his relationship with OTC began when he was a student back in 2001. Like you, he is a proud OTC graduate. Please welcome Mr. Sunday.
Thank you, Dr. Higdon. So I guess technically that makes me one of your 6 bosses. I don't know. I guess it is true. You can start here and go anywhere. As he's staring at me from behind, is he still looking? So what a great day to be a part of Ozarks Tech. From a fellow graduate and now the chair of the Board of Trustees, it's a beautiful day to be with this college. Today is a day of celebration for the teachers, for the family members, the cousins, the brothers, the uncles, the grandmas, the grandpas, somebody in the back, the dogs, if somebody brought a dog. Well done. Some of these students would not have made it through without your support. To the students, my people, here you are. Here you are. Take it in. Look around. Some of you barely made it. Some of you totally excelled. But you are all here today. There's one thing I'll tell you about education. It won't make you happy, but it will give you options. So when you walk across this floor, know that you have options. When you walk out of here, know that you have options. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees and a fellow alum, welcome to the club.
Just think, one day you could do that welcome as a member of our Board of Trustees, as an alumni of OTC. Thank you, Mr. Sunday. Tonight, we are delighted to have members of the OTC Chamber Choir performing "You Are the New Day." Please enjoy.
You are the new day. Yesterday, if you can but prove to me you are the new day, send us on in time for dawn, let the birds all hail the morning. Love of life will urge me, say, just needs days in which to be. Love of life means hope for me. Born on a new day, you are the new day.
There is a well-known African proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Tonight's student speaker is a testament to this idea and a big believer in the importance of community. Though his path started out in one direction, Billy Dudley found himself going another. And as you will hear, he credits his success in large part to community. It has been that community that has helped Billy journey to this night, to this moment. And he has not only benefited from it, but he also helped build it along the way. In his 2 years at OTC, Billy has worked as a student ambassador and served as president of OTC's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, for which he was also a Missouri regional officer. We have been proud to call Billy a student and are even prouder tonight to call him a graduate. Welcome our student speaker, Billy Dudley.
Thank you, Dr. McGrady, Chancellor Higdon, and trustees. It might be expected of me to say something along these lines, but I did not envision myself standing up here speaking at my own commencement ceremony. In fact, I actually resisted the idea. When I was asked to consider speaking at commencement, my first pretty quick response was, no, I do not want to do that. But after I said no, I thought to myself, well, what would I even say if I hypothetically was interested in doing it? So, what do I have to say about my time at OTC that is significant? And my conclusion was pretty simple. Nothing. My story is not the significant part about my time at OTC. I came to OTC because in high school, I knew that I wanted to be a welder. I took welding classes at the tech center at my school, and I even moved to Springfield to work at a stainless steel fabrication shop in the last semester of my senior year. I left my friends, I left my family, my hometown, and all of the lasts of my senior year because I was sold on welding. You want to know a fun fact? I am no longer a welder. In fact, my time at that fabrication shop was actually pretty short. I learned quickly that while I do love to weld, I still love it, it's not necessarily what I want to do every day for the rest of my life as my career. So I decided that I would use my A+ scholarship, and hopefully at some point, somehow along the way, I would find something that I wanted to do with my life. So in the fall of 2020, I started my first semester at OTC, which I didn't imagine happening. And in that first semester, I very innocently took American Sign Language 1 as an elective course. To be honest, I don't know why it caught my eye or why I looked at it when I was registering for my classes, but I enrolled in it and it was going to give me some credit hours, so I took it on full force. And then, about 2 weeks in, I had fallen in love with it. A language that I had never before considered or knew anything about, or about the community of people that it belongs to, pierced my heart in a way that I was not expecting it. So next fall, I began studies at Missouri State University to continue my education in their Education of Deaf and Hard of Hearing program. Now, I of course love this story, but that's because it's my story. And like I said, I don't count it as the significant part about my time at OTC. Much more significant than that is how it was even able to develop. My story developed because I had family and friends that supported me in my desire to move to Springfield to weld. It happened because when that desire ultimately failed, they supported me in my shift to OTC, where I stepped into a place full of unknowns, not knowing what I wanted to do. As I began classes at OTC and then realized that ASL is a passion of mine, I was given that same support, but at an even grander scale. My instructors and my academic advisor stepped up immensely to support me and help guide me down a path towards my goals. It was no longer just me in my story, but there was a community of support ushering it forward. And I bet many of you can relate because it's probably similar to your time at OTC as well. Experiencing that level of community brought me to becoming a student ambassador, joining OTC's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, where I serve as chapter president and am also a part of the Missouri regional team. I've had the amazing opportunity to work with Dr. McGrady and Dr. Hudson, have project ideas approved by Chancellor Higdon, give tours to prospective OTC students as a student ambassador, work with various departments and organizations to put on events, build camaraderie with faculty, and interact with my fellow students, some of which have become people that I cannot imagine my life without. All of those experiences heightened my scope of OTC and allowed me to see and experience that OTC is not just a community college, but we are also a community of people. Tonight is an amazing example of what community looks like. In the room, we have friends and family that have supported you along your whole journey to OTC and have anticipated this day of celebration. We also have OTC instructors, administrators, donors, staff and faculty who are also here to celebrate you, to make sure that you have your night. And we also have, of course, our fellow graduates, with whom you've taken classes, completed group projects, you've seen studying in the library, walking in class, or enjoying downtime to hang out on campus, all with this night in mind. You are a part of a community at OTC. One of my favorite books reminds us that a body cannot function without all of its parts. And when one part is celebrated, all parts celebrate with it. That is us. And tonight, we all come together as our whole community to celebrate each one of you. What tonight also means, though, is that each of us will now enter into additional communities. Some of us will enter the workforce, some will transfer to four-year universities, and some may even stay at OTC. No matter where you go, find your community. If you can't find one, then make one. Why? Because you were not designed to live life alone. I know that you are not designed to live life alone because there are other people. I mean, look at this room. That has to be indicative that we are designed to live life with people and live life in a community. And just as the OTC community has been alongside you in your journey to succeed here, continue to find your community in every place that you go. Your new communities will provide support, love, friendship, joy, and fulfillment. OTC will always be our community, and we'll keep watching as you continue to soar high in your purpose like the eagles that you are and like the eagles that you always will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Billy. The Ozarks Technical Community College Distinguished Alumni Award is presented to recognize and honor an alumnus for their accomplishment and their professional success. Today, we honor Mr. Brett Majors with the Distinguished Alumni Award. Mr. Majors is president of Legacy Bank and Trust, responsible for general operations, lending functions, and strategic guidance for the bank. He could not be with us tonight, but he did want to address you by video. Please turn your attention to the screens for our Alumnus of the Year, Mr. Brett Majors.
Good evening, OTC graduates. I'm Brett Majors. I'm a 2003 graduate of OTC, and I have the privilege of getting to speak with you today. I was a very motivated young person, but kind of light on resources, time and money, and OTC by far made the most sense for me in my life. After OTC, I went to Missouri State and received a bachelor's degree in economics and finance. After a little stint in law school that was not for me, I determined that finance was my path, and I came back and got into banking here in Springfield, Missouri, with a Great Southern Bank, and spent a few years there and received an MBA at Missouri State while I was working full-time at Great Southern. OTC was a blessing to my life, and I think I'll forever be grateful for the opportunity it provided me. I'm living proof that if you have the grit and determination and you supply the work ethic, that they'll come alongside you and give you opportunities that you just wouldn't have without an education. I want to thank the staff, the administration, and the foundation for this honor, and congratulations. Thank you.
Springfield is home to some of the world's best businessmen and women, including tonight's keynote speaker. Jack Stack is the founder, president, and CEO of SRC Holdings, a pioneer of leadership model known as open book management. Mr. Stack is the author of 3 books on the subject: The Great Game of Business, A Stake in the Outcome, and Change the Game. His expertise in using the open book model has helped SRC Holdings Corporation start, acquire, and own over 60 businesses and create thousands of jobs since 1983. Along the way, SRC's stock value has increased 360,000%. Located in Springfield, SRC Holdings Corporation is a 100% employee-owned company employing more than 1,800 people with sales of over $600 million. While SRC's chief business is remanufacturing vehicle assemblies, the company is best known for being the birthplace of open book management. The company has received international recognition because of its success, including the top 100 companies to work for in America. Please welcome Mr. Jack Stack.
Thank you. President Higdon, trustees, faculty, administration, graduates, parents, and friends, thank you for the enormous privilege of addressing the graduates today. Fellow graduates, I say that with the deepest respect for this honor you have achieved today. By fellow graduate, I mean that along with you, I took a non-traditional route to get this precious moment in your life. It took me 10 years of night school to receive my Bachelor of Science degree, 10 years of working full-time, buying a house, raising kids, and a lot of partying to obtain that degree, mostly before the kids. The happiest moment of my college career was the last day. That was a defining moment for me of a promise kept, a mission accomplished, and recognition that regardless of my future, nobody could ever take this degree away from me. Looking back all of these years, I will tell you that achieving my degree opened up doors for me. With a degree, nobody could use this as a reason to say no. You can't have this position. You can't have this job because you don't have a degree. I had my degree. It's what you have achieved today. Yes, you have learned a lot. Yes, you have worked hard. Yes, you have struggled with the challenges of everyday life. But the most important thing for you to realize is that you have achieved. And achievement is an emotion that comes from inside of you that is screaming, I made it, I got it, and I'm proud of it. It may seem like the bottom step of the ladder, but you've taken the first step to reach the top. And that is what happens when you take away the constraints to succeed and replace them with achievements. Small wins add up to big wins. Enjoy this moment because it's a new start, a fresh beginning. It only takes one step, one achievement, one aha moment, one life-changing experience that puts you on a path to making a difference and living a meaningful life, a life of meaning. Remember that people who have helped you along the way, your professors, your significant other, your coworkers, your family. And that's the perfect segue to leave you the few lessons I have learned since I received my degree. There are 3, and maybe I'll throw in a 4th. Number 1, be a relationship builder. Don't make enemies. Outlive them. Be transparent. Be honest. Celebrate your wins. There's too much dislike in our society today, and we need more likes. Likes are what's going to get you ahead. Dislikes are constraints to your success. Number 2, be a change leader. Embrace change. Get out in front of change. When our company began in 1983, we were about to get laid off without a soft landing. And it came out of nowhere. And all we had was each other. We had no money. It was scary. Together, we asked the company that we worked for if they would sell us the company, if we could literally buy our jobs. We knew how to make products and services. We knew nothing about building a company. And so we had to learn. We had to change our mindset. And we had to understand that the company was the product, and if we could create an outrageously successful company, we could create our own future. That holds true for you to this day, and we did by learning from each other and teaching each other. And just look around here. Where would OTC be if it wasn't for the wisdom of the founders and all the men and women who worked so hard to make this dream come true? The task was not an easy one. It represents the unique OT spirit of risk-taking, large ambition, and an optimism about the future. We must continually rally and build this university, increasing its longevity and good health. We must never yield to self-fulfilling despair that problems are insurmountable. This building and your graduation are testimonies that great things can be achieved through a willingness, even insistence, to work hard for what you believe in. And it shows what we can do when we embrace change. The hardest thing we've learned is the power of strategic thinking, which would be my third life lesson. How important it is to have a plan, a life plan. Strategic thinking is by far the most difficult thing to do and understand. You'll only know its true rewards when you see your actual aspirations become realities when you meet your plan. Be debt averse. If there's one thing I've seen that consistently hold people back from reaching their aspirations, it's been too much debt. Debt can be a destroyer of hope and a killer of dreams. It can lead to emotional and physical destruction. Don't mortgage your future by borrowing from income you don't have. Enjoy the things you earn, the things you have, not the things you want and can't afford. I would like to add one more piece of advice for those of you that work, and that is be a talent developer. At work, the best thing you can do is to have a replacement. It's one of the fastest ways of making your plan come true and the best thing you can do for a company. Class of 2022, we have been waiting for you. Opportunity is before you. Your future is brilliant with hope. Enjoy this day. It's about you. Celebrate. And as a wise writer once wrote, if the purpose of life is to discover your gift, the meaning of life is to give that gift away. Congratulations. Now go out and make a difference.
Would the candidates for the graduating class of 2022 please stand? Dr. Higdon, these candidates have completed the necessary requirements for their chosen degree or certificate. It is with great pride that they are presented to you on behalf of the faculty of Ozarks Technical Community College.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the state of Missouri and the Board of Trustees of Ozarks Technical Community College, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree or certificate for which you've been recommended. Please hold your applause until all the graduates are recognized. We will now begin the awarding of diplomas to the graduating class of 2022. Will all the candidates, except for those of you in the front row, please be seated.
Billy Dudley, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Mariah Dawn Morrissey, Associate in Behavioral Science with Honors. Kayla DeYoung, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies. Monique Agener Tab, Certificate in Baking Arts. Shauna Shope, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Matthew Gordon, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Blanche Anna Creason, Associate in Criminal Justice with Honors. Devin Daniel Dembinski, Associate in Business with Honors. Noah Dewey, Associate in General Studies. Shannon McKeag Buffington, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology with Honors. William Carroll, Associate in Networking Technology with Honors. Grant Bush, Certificate in Welding Technology with Honors. Mackenzie Faye Lewis, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Stevie Berry, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Jenna Greer, Associate in General Studies. Mackenzie Kamey, Associate in General Studies. Brandon Burks, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Robert Poole, Associate in Business. Caitlin Juliana Roberts, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Taylor Cookta, Associate in Social Work. Amethyst Marie, Associate in Behavioral Science with Honors. Joy Gilson, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Carrington Ruark, Associate in Teaching. Mario Gonzalez, Associate in Social Work with Honors. Mason Brett Gash, Associate in Business. Dawson Mitchell Curl, Associate in Agriculture with Honors. Cade Snickner, Certificate in Construction Technology. Stephen Fina, Associate in Diesel Technology. Jasmine Lamore, Associate in Agriculture Animal Science. Daniel Clark, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Rachel Pitts, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Madison Arwood, Associate in Business with Honors. Maggie Silva, Associate in Early Childhood Development with Honors. Sonia Yanez, Associate in General Studies. Maya Peabody, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Alyssa Holmes, Associate in General Studies. Erica Lindblom, Associate in Teaching. Catherine Faye Taylor, Associate in Business and Marketing. Kaylee Dawn Taylor, Associate in Business and Marketing. Kristen Abramovitz, Associate in Biological Science. Logan Starner, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Joshua Metro, Associate in General Studies. Jacob Perry, Associate in General Studies. Michael Forbes, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Kyle Keith, Specialization in Paramedicine. Jacob Taylor, Associate in Biology with Honors. Giovanni Sanchez, Associate in Computer Science with Honors. Maria Antonini, Associate in Engineering Civil with Honors. Jenna Johnson, Associate in General Studies. Abigail Duncan, Associate in Criminal Justice. Courtney Reeves, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Natalie West, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Cindy Burt, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Sherry Lewandowski, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Tammy Cothra, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Savannah Powell, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Kelsey Enyart, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Mackenzie Hammonds, Medical Assistant Apprentice with Distinction. Riley Shane Hammonds, Associate in Biological Clinical Science with Honors. Kirsten Stroud, Associate in General Studies. Gabrielle Green, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Eviana Coulter, Associate in General Studies. Rebecca Munson, Associate in General Studies. Taylor Rayleigh Deloach, Associate in General Studies. Sadie Sherwood, Associate in General Studies with honors. Hazel Berman, Certificate in Early Childhood Development with honors. Cody Friend, Associate in General Studies with honors. Bianca Guzman Lopez, Associate in General Studies with honors. Jennifer Williams, Associate in Teaching. Kiaria Gould, Associate in Behavioral Science with honors. Mackenzie Fleischacker, Associate in General Studies with honors. Alexis Michelle Wilson, Associate in Early Childhood Development. Chelsea Adkins, Associate in Health Information Technology. Courtney Eggleston, Medical Assistant Apprentice with distinction. Katie Scroggs, Medical Assistant Apprentice with distinction. Raven Brown, Medical Assistant Apprentice with distinction. Pang Lee, Medical Assistant Apprentice with distinction. Sarah Long, Medical Assistant Apprentice with distinction. Alexa Kress, Medical Assistant Apprentice with distinction. Sandra Lee Crumble, Associate in General Studies with honors. Shelton Foles, Associate in Business. Angelia Marie Bound, Associate in Early Childhood Development with honors. Christian Barnes, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Josh Pickerel, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Paige Barton, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Ashanti Short, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Megan Trout, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Emma Marie Adams, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Allie Elizabeth Smothers, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Madison Lynn Bell, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Eve Danielle Salomon, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Tricia Tyndall, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Victoria Lee Mulder, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Megan Shaylee Witt, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Leslie Garcia, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Hunter Stillwell, Associate in Business. Jessica Wall, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Julia McAndrews, Certificate in Practical Nursing with honors. Kevin Brown, Certificate in Practical Nursing. James Bratz, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Madison Lean, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Harmony McCoy, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Jacelyn Therese Holtkamp, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Liliana Young, Associate in General Studies. Chloe May Spencer, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Brianna Woodward, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Emma Johnson, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Amy Cornelius, Certificate in Practical Nursing with honors. James Edward Hess, Jr., Associate in Behavioral Science with honors. Rebecca Baker, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Kinzer Riffiner, Associate in Business. Shelby Honey, Associate in Fire Science Technology.
Dylan Honey, Associate in Fire Science Technology with honors. Scott Brazier, Associate in Fire Science Technology. Miranda Goldenberg, Associate in General Studies. Sean Wilson II, Associate in General Studies. Colin Jones, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Clay Cartwright, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Stephen Helterbrand, Associate in Respiratory Therapy with honors. Jayla Davis, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Louis LePage, Certificate in Practical Nursing with honors. Melissa Costello, Associate in General Studies. Carly Grace Brown, Associate in General Studies. Hunter Harrell, Associate in General Studies with honors. Alexander McMaster, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Dylan Nash, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning with honors. Ethan Elliott, Certificate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning with honors. Calvin Chin, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Hunter Ray Burks, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Ethan Edwards, Certificate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Zachary Birch, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Evan Yaki, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Elizabeth Nash, Associate in General Studies with honors. Jessica McKnight, Associate in General Studies with honors. Alexandra Lee Michael, Associate in General Studies. Carrie Terrell Steelman, Associate in General Studies with honors. Rachel Swopes, Associate in General Studies. J.C. McCorkle, Associate in General Studies. Jennifer Mango, Associate in Business with honors. Hattie Mae Taylor, Associate in Culinary Arts with honors. Yvonne Nitschke Humphrey, Associate in Early Childhood Development with honors. Callie Farmer, Associate in General Studies. William Beagley, Associate in Teaching. Thomas Voss, Associate in General Studies. Abigail Elise Warren, Associate in Criminal Justice with honors. John Patrick Hilton Jr., Certificate in Automotive Technology. Douglas Boyce, Associate in Teaching. Sally Stuckey, Associate in Teaching with honors. Amanda Harden, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Danelle Pantleo, Associate in Teaching. Sarah Grace Spruill, Associate in Teaching. Brianna Santobi, Associate in General Studies with honors. Nadia Woods, Associate in Criminal Justice with honors. Amara Elliott, Associate in General Studies. Zachary Cook, Associate in Fire Science Technology. McKenna Newell, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Stacy Mae Prothrow, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. James Chesmezia, Associate in Dental Hygiene. Sagar Kumar Patel, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Kylie Jasper, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Jordan Juan Glenn, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Jessica Turner, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Alyssa Dawn McCullough, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Rachel Raylianu, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Juliet Martin, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Nicholas Belanger, Associate in Culinary Arts, Baking and Pastry. Jacob Harris, Associate in General Studies. Harrison Ferris, Associate in Diesel Technology. Emma Anderson, Associate in General Studies with honors. Sierra Taman Johns, Associate in Agriculture, Plant Science. Jesse Mills, Associate in Turf and Landscape Management with honors. Vanessa Hutchinson, Associate in Agriculture, Animal Science. Bridget Dawn Burks, Associate in Agriculture, Animal Science. Kayla Bennett, Associate in General Studies with honors. Melanie Rister, Associate in Bioclinical Science. Alyssa Ross, Associate in Behavioral Science. Yasmin Nelson, Medical Assistant with distinction. Sydney Ferguson, Associate in Business. Kimberly Rushing, Associate in General Studies. Thomas Jenkins, Associate in General Studies with honors. Mitzi Shoemaker, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies. Leslie Alvarez, Associate in General Studies with honors. Erica Harmon, Associate in Social Work with honors. Yesenia Brown, Associate in Dental Assisting. Megan McWilliams, Associate in General Studies. Rebecca Williams, Associate in Dental Hygiene with honors. Brittany Wallace, Associate in Dental Hygiene. Bobby Lorraine Davidson, Associate in Dental Hygiene with Honors. Cynthia Whited, Associate in Dental Hygiene with Honors. Christina Tusillo, Associate in Dental Hygiene with Honors. Daly Mayanne Powers, Associate in Dental Hygiene with Honors. Courtney Cox, Associate in Dental Hygiene. Renee Crum, Certificate in Baking Arts. Scott Crum Jr., Certificate in Baking Arts. Dakota Joy, Associate in Early Childhood Development with Honors. Sierra Judy, Associate in Criminal Justice. Erin Grace Reed, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Brianna Deans, Associate in English with Honors. Morgan Heimer, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Morgan McQuarrie, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Thomas Paris, Associate in Business. James Batson, Associate in Industrial Systems Technology with Honors. Jacob Scott Kelso, Associate in Construction Technology. Tabitha Leanne Crawford, Associate in Social Work. Idana Austin, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician. Alan Reinman, Associate in Culinary Arts with Honors. Audrey Cook, Associate in Culinary Arts. Gabriel Helfenstein, Associate in Culinary Arts. Hannah Caitlin Grimpo, Associate in Culinary Arts with Honors. Lauren Powell, Associate in Culinary Arts. Laura Owens, Associate in Culinary Arts with Honors. Kira Dakota Teal Bunch, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Angelica Collins, Associate in Culinary Arts with Honors. Michaela Peterson, Associate in Culinary Arts with Honors. Jackson Noble, Associate in Culinary Arts. Connor Shaw, Associate in Culinary Arts with Honors. Camilla Rich, Associate in General Studies. Kyle Bendelli, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Devin Wagner, Associate in Construction Technology with Honors. Carter Young, Certificate in Welding Technology. Jacob Connor, Certificate in Welding Technology with Honors. Brenna Blau, Associate in Business. Kristen Marie Cox, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Jaylee Dean, Associate in English with Honors. Patrick Thurman, Associate in Networking Technology. Lauren Ashley Clayton, Associate in Criminal Justice. Cassandra Nussbaumer, Associate in Social Work. Nicholas Quinn Longacre, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology with Honors. Sydney Snelson, Associate in Teaching. Caleb Parker Brown, Associate in Business with Honors. Catherine Head, Associate in Accounting and Business Management with Honors. Victoria Lane Trimble, Associate in Business. Lita Lolotia Olanthia Sears, Associate in Accounting and Business Management with Honors. Nicole Cusera, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician. Brittany Chamblin, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician. Stephanie Pruitt, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician. Tia Shaw, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician with Honors. Jesse James Handley, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician with Honors. Riley Lindner, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician. Courtney Farrell, Associate in Medical Laboratory Technician. Corbin Faust, Certificate in Drafting and Design Technology. Micah Wall, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology with Honors. Sophia May Baudot, Associate in Criminal Justice with Honors. Allison Varner, Associate in Nursing with Honors. Megan DeFries, Associate in Business and Marketing. Riley Diane Zieber, Associate in General Studies. Dayton Ray Mullins, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Jessica Gaynor, Associate in Business and Marketing. Carol McCoy, Certificate in Bioclinical Science. Kirsten Collins, Associate in Behavioral Science with Honors. Katie Carter, Associate in Teaching. Dolores C. Morrow, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies. Brooks Alexander Dingman, Associate in Diesel Technology with Honors. Matthew Joseph Hewen, Certificate in Diesel Technology.
Zane Isaac Compton, Certificate in Diesel Technology. Wesley Brandstetter, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Majid Fadil, Associate in Drafting, Design, and Technology with Honors. Hannah Schmidt, Associate in Automotive Technology with Honors. Randy Hill, Associate in Welding Technology with Honors. Brianna Bowman, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Jerica Brown, Associate in General Studies. Riley Bassett, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Emily Madison, Associate in Culinary Arts with Honors. Miranda Davidson, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. KCL Springston, Associate in Health Information Technology. Ian Montford, Associate in Agriculture. Dylan Walsh-Guinness, Associate in Business. Vincent Sutton, Certificate in Computer Information Science. Savannah Johnson, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Amy Durbin, Associate in General Studies. Lacey Beatty, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Anna Victoria Fonseca, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Bryce Coughlin, Certificate in Welding Technology with Honors. Luna Cooper, Certificate in Electronic Media Production with Honors. Alexis Jones, Associate in Teaching. Jennifer Guerra, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Christina Marie Ebeling, Associate in Nursing. Taylor Miller, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Alex Morgan Wubensey, Associate in Automotive Technology. Jimmy Lindau, Associate in Auto Collision Repair Technology. Jade Coatney, Associate in Early Childhood Development with Honors. Casey Thurston, Associate in Business and Marketing. George Travis Lee Downey, Associate in General Studies. Jaden Seacrest, Associate in Business with Honors. Dustin Davis, Certificate in Precision Matching Technology with Honors. Jessica Alkire, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Donald Ekstrom, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Elijah Pitts, Associate in Diesel Technology with Honors. Spencer Wall, Associate in Electronic Media Production. Caleb Scott, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Ashton Crane, Associate in Business. Alexander Crane, Associate in General Studies. Christopher Ryan Hubbard, Associate in Diesel Technology. Ashton Rogers, Associate in General Studies. Rhonda Black Fry, Associate in Teaching. Tamara Thomas, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Tyler Hackmeister, Associate in Electrical Technician with Honors. Bryce Allen Tilley, Associate in Behavioral Science. Samuel Durham, Associate in Biological Clinical Science with Honors. Jessica Reed, Certificate in Early Childhood Development. Joanna Alvarez Rodriguez, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Brandy Marie Loftus, Associate in English with Honors. Jake Allen Bollinger, Associate in Teaching. Gabriel Lindsay, Associate in Engineering with Honors. Emma Catherine King, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Justin Fausto, Associate in Engineering Electrical with Honors. Eric Fausto, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology with Honors. Enoch Titus Struble, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Kaylee Caldwell, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Janelle McClammy, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Molly Rhea Villamy, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Brian Cox, Certificate in Automotive Technology with honors. Jessica Wyrick, Associate in Health Information Technology with honors. Stephanie Marie Greenwald, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Kelly Ann Thorne, Associate in Accounting and Business Management with honors. Alyssa Hewley, Certificate in Electronic Media Production with honors. Haley Kissy, Associate in Business. Mary Elizabeth Carol Rose Norman, Associate in General Studies. Haley Henderson, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Tiffany Hardwick, Associate in General Studies. Emily Reasoner, Associate in Behavioral Science. Jessica Ann Hoskin, Associate in Behavioral Health Support with honors. Jeremiah Kane, Certificate in Welding Technology. William Irvin Green, Associate in Diesel Technology. Raven Nicole Smith, Associate in Early Childhood Development. Faith Finley, Associate in General Studies. Ellie Ann Yuntz, Associate in General Studies with honors. What? Okay. Rachel Magnan, Certificate in Auto Collision Repair Technology with honors. Jimmy Clark, Associate in Auto Collision Repair Technology. Keegan Whitner, Associate in Computer Information Science. Mario Chico, Associate in Computer Science with honors. Chase Lee Cook, Associate in Computer Information Science with honors. Kyan Carr, Associate in Computer Science with honors. Stephen Laster, Associate in Diesel Technology with honors. Nicholas Montiero, Associate in Diesel Technology with honors. Samantha Merrill, Associate in Teaching. Jacob Tyler Thornton, Certificate in Diesel Technology. Caden Gwynn, Certificate in Diesel Technology with honors. Aubrey Enos, Associate in General Studies. Alyssa Nicole Marie Johnson, Associate in Health Information Technology. Brandon Matthew White, Associate in Construction Technology. Carter Brown, Certificate in Construction with honors. Nathan Jennings, Associate in General Studies. Callie Edwards, Certificate in Bioclinical Science. Peyton Edwards, Associate in Behavioral Science. Ashley Meisler, Associate in Business and Marketing. Christopher Tharp, Associate in Industrial Systems Technology with honors. Kylia Gilliam, Associate in Business. Brianna Hendrian, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Tristan Mast, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Kelsey Watson, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Tori Knight, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Amy Leanne Garver, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Ashley Nelson, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Tanner Ray Parsons, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistants. Evan Randall Yoakum, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistants with honors. Benjamin Kannenberger, Associate in Physical Therapist Fitness. Skylar Reynolds, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant with honors. Mason Hayward, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant with honors. Liberty Falcena, Associate in Accounting and Business Management with honors.
Carabelle Epps, Associate in General Studies. Anna Faith Barron, Associate in General Studies. Kimberly Fair, Associate in General Studies. Ethan Turner, Associate in General Studies. Iman Antonia Ray, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology. Malia Settles, Associate in Business and Marketing. Sydney Dell Clark, Associate in General Studies with honors. Brady Van Nest, Associate in General Studies. Jacob Salee, Associate in Networking Technology. Heather Grayson, Associate in General Studies with honors. Min Duck Lay, Associate in Business with honors. Jasmine Grounds, Associate in Business. Asiwak Olivas, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Lori Slagle, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Austin Zobel, Associate in General Studies. Andrew Van Horn, Certificate in Welding Technology. Carter DeTherridge, Certificate in Diesel Technology. Braden Michael Conboy, Associate in General Studies. Genesis Orion Wilson, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Dustin Craigmile, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Joel Ditto, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Troy Harmon Kiefer, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant with Honors. Corey Paul Pishoff, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Mackenzie Leah Hare, Associate in Physical Therapist Assistant. Allison Miner, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Brady Weston, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Frederick Kowitty, Associate in Computer Science. Ashlyn Collins, Associate in General Studies. Caitlin Masters, Associate in Surgical Technology with Honors. Summer Charisse Caldwell, Associate in Surgical Technology with Honors. Haley Putney, Associate in Surgical Technology. Emily Christine Fry, Associate in Surgical Technology. Kiara Holtkamp, Associate in Surgical Technology. Nathaniel Ryan Turner, Associate in Surgical Technology. Randy Lowry, Associate in Surgical Technology. Morgan Maggard, Associate in Surgical Technology. Samantha Michelle Murphy, Associate in Hearing Instrument Science with Honors. Hunter Dietrich, Associate in Criminal Justice. Tanisha Wells, Associate in Behavioral Health Support. Laren Eddings, Associate in Behavioral Health Support. Tori Stobie, Associate in Behavioral Health Support. Melina Switzer, Associate in Early Childhood Development with Honors. Sierra Page Purrier, Associate in Business with Honors. Kenan Rosano, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Derek Kinnear, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Justin Michael Murphy, Associate in Apprenticeship Skilled Trades. Dustin Michael Barnes, Associate in General Studies. Nicole Angelina Cooper, Associate in Teaching. Galatia Peterson Shearer, Associate in Surgical Technology. Cheyenne Hitchcock, Associate in Surgical Technology. Elizabeth Belden, Associate in Surgical Technology. Neely Rayanne Goebel, Associate in Surgical Technology. Caitlin Fortney, Associate in Surgical Technology. Kayla Thomas, Associate in Surgical Technology. Nicole Jones, Associate in Surgical Technology. Shelby Byrne, Associate in Surgical Technology. Abigail Neal, Associate in General Studies. Marin Carolyn Nielsen, Associate in Accounting and Business Management with Honors. Kaylee Marie Gale Taylor, Associate in Surgical Technology with Honors. Willow Moon, Associate in Respiratory Therapy. Sequoia Stewart, Certificate in Early Childhood Development. Madeline Fajardo, Associate in General Studies. Amanda Rhodes, Associate in Business. Nakia Chanel Christian Groves, Certificate in Business and Marketing. Harrison Knights, Associate in Business. Daniel Charles Elliott, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Evan Charles Harden, Certificate in Diesel Technology with Honors. Vicky Brzezinski, Certificate in Accounting and Business Management with Honors. Felicia Thomas, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Connie Thompson, Associate in Social Work. Denise Shirley, Associate in Behavioral Health Support with Honors. Tiffany Blackman, Associate in Behavioral Health Support. Irina Musienko, Associate in Accounting and Business Management with Honors. Matea Smith, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Veronica Letanovoski, Associate in Biological Clinical Science with Honors. Ashley Large, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Javier Espinolino, Associate in Criminal Justice. Kayla Hogan, specialization in culinary arts. Samantha Janice, Associate in Teaching. Nick Ryan Oliva Garbut, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. China Lepatch, Associate in Biology with honors. Caleb Wallace Bolin, Associate in Aviation Flight Technology with honors. Amber Vines, Associate in General Studies. Allison Stegman, Associate in General Studies with honors. Wyatt Parks, Associate in Aviation Flight Technology with honors. Dylan Potter, Associate in Aviation Flight Technology with honors. Madison Lowe, Associate in Computer Information Science with honors. Christina Blatchford, a Certificate in Accounting and Business Management with honors. Alexander Lane Holtz, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology with honors. Jose Elijah Holtz, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning. Philip Hackney, Associate in Business. Andrea Skaggs, Associate in Early Childhood Development with honors. Bethany Medlin, Associate in General Studies. Andrea Dismang, Associate in Social Work. Madeline Marie Pompey, Associate in General Studies. Emily Abel, Associate in Early Childhood Development. Alexis Bryant, Associate in General Studies. Asia Rowe, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Kylie Baldwin, Associate in Behavioral Health Support with honors. Kayla Bauer, Associate in General Studies. Jetseline Pelham, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Cassandra Marie Swab, Associate in Criminal Justice. Ian Irvin, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies. Jacob Wimsat, Associate in General Studies with honors. Zoe Cheatham, Associate in General Studies with honors. Liberty Hope Gardenia Jones, Associate in Social Work. Hitchery Desai, Associate in General Studies with honors. Samantha McNair, Associate in General Studies. Bethany Allgood, Associate in Business and Marketing. Brittany Woodward, Associate in Automotive Technology. Jacob Estrada, Associate in Computer Information Science. Maya Smalley, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Maria Sue, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with honors. Emma Hungerford, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with honors. Allison Newberry, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with honors. Katsali Konin Peñalosa, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with honors. Hope Villines, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with honors. Tristan Bradley, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with honors. Emma Bruschi, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with honors. Colton Hayden, Certificate in Construction Technology. Emily Steele, Associate in Teaching. Megan McDougall, Certificate in Baking Arts. Susan Schreiner, Certificate in Accounting and Business Management. Kirsten J.C. Halbert, Associate in Agriculture, Animal Science. Monica Cruz, Associate in Hospitality Management. Tyler Alsop, Associate in Automotive Technology. Christopher Michael Anderson, Certificate in Drafting and Design Technology. Miles Anthony Denicola, Certificate in Drafting and Design Technology with honors. Garrett Michael Tharp, Associate in Turf and Landscape Management. McKenna Grace Gollier, Associate in General Studies with honors.
Reagan Baldwin, Associate in Teaching. Ashton Peters, Associate in Bioclinical Science with honors. Christopher Koger, Certificate in Welding Technology. Connor Pinkley, Certificate in Welding Technology. Lucas Gregory, Certificate in Welding Technology. Chase Perry, Certificate in Welding Technology. Savannah Williams, Associate in Health Information Technology. Aiden Schneider, Certificate in Electronic Media Production. Travis Plunkett, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies. Nikki Hawkinson, Associate in Behavioral Health Support. Lindsay Elizabeth Rose Pyle, Associate in General Studies. Jamie Gardner, Associate in General Studies. Julia Myler, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Abigail Keaton, Associate in General Studies. Tristan Nicole Heiger, Associate in Behavioral Health Support with Honors. Michael Chappie, Associate in Engineering. Tyler Maddox, Associate in Construction Technology. Anthony Thomas Davis, Associate in Electronic Media Production. Gabriel Hamlet, Associate in Networking Technology with Honors. Jackie Bennett, Associate in Business and Marketing. Christina Todd, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Christina Roberts, Certificate in Coding Specialist. Bradley Cloud, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Devin Swims, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Loki Jensen, Associate in Graphic Design Technology with Honors. Caitlin Egger, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Shelby Evans, Associate in Dental Assisting. Brittany Killingsworth, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Haley Heifel, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Destiny Lynn York Nunn, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Shelby Riley, Associate in Dental Assisting. Hannah Morton, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Stephanie Jackson, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Michelle Farrell, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Peyton Wheeler, Associate in General Studies. Deanna Kim Colson, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology. Crystal Siobhan Gregory, Associate in General Studies. Demario Lampkins, Certificate in Welding Technology. Nathan Morris, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Anna Hansen, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Olivia Bauer, Associate in Graphic Design Technology. Drew Howard Porterfield, Associate in Graphic Design Technology with Honors. Maximilian Dixon, Associate in Graphic Design Technology with Honors. Aaron Cayley, Associate in Graphic Design Technology with Honors. Anna Cochran, Associate in General Studies. Sarah Webb, Associate in Business. William Lloyd, Associate in General Studies. Shaden James Wade DeCamp, Certificate in Welding Technology. Mason Tomlinson, Associate in General Studies. Nathan Schultz, Certificate in Electrical Technician. Eden Schweitzer, Associate in Dental Assisting. Presley Floyd, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Chloe Lampy, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Grace McPhail, Associate in Dental Assisting. Macy Stallings, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Victoria Haynes, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Sabrina Chesnall, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Emily Wiles, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Cheyenne Polly Grace Potterbin, Associate in Dental Assisting. Grace Sido, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Sierra Lynn Brack, Associate in Dental Assisting. Melissa Jean Goshorn, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Cynthia Wagner, Associate in Industrial Systems Technology with Honors. Brittany Anoa'i, Associate in General Studies. Beatrice Cancel Villar, Associate in Drafting and Design Technology. Alexis Mayfield, Associate in Health Information Technology. Zachary Joseph Henson, Associate in Electronic Media Production with Honors. Liberty Christina Morale Arnell, Associate in Electronic Media Production with Honors. Owen Coleman, Associate in Electronic Media Production with Honors. Abby Nicole Kelsey, Associate in Electronic Media Production with Honors. Brooke O'Blair, Associate in Electronic Media Production. Drexel Swanson III, Associate in General Studies. Haley Tackett, Associate in Behavioral Science with Honors. Maisie Brown, Associate in Behavioral Science. Jesse R. Young, Associate in Behavioral Science. Tabitha Friedman, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies with Honors. Micaiah Adams, Associate in Teaching with Honors. Caitlin Rose Mitchell, Associate in Teaching. Dana Williams, Associate in Criminal Justice with Honors. Stacy Seisman, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Lauren Goforth, Associate in Teaching. Marissa Selensky, Associate in Business with Honors. Okay. Cynthia White, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Casey Pearman, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Kelly Goggins, Associate in Dental Assisting with Honors. Lauren Brown, Associate in Dental Assisting. Bartholomew Handworker, Associate in Behavioral Health Support with Honors. Tamara Myers, Associate in Behavioral Health Support with Honors. Elizabeth Michelle Atchley, Associate in Behavioral Health Support with Honors. Zachary Taylor, Certificate in Electrical Technician with Honors. Tyler Aldridge, Associate in General Studies. Gavin Elliott, Associate in Computer Information Science. Abigail Keene, Associate in Social Work with Honors. Jessica Rose Hicks, Associate in Criminal Justice. Kaylin Stroke, Associate in Criminal Justice. Josiah LePant, Certificate in Electronic Media Production with Honors. Amanda Lee Hubner, Certificate in Practical Nursing. Willis Hudson III, Associate in General Studies. Beth Simpson, Associate in Business and Marketing. Andrew Abram II, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Destiny Potter, Associate in General Studies. Amanda May Cornell, Associate in Teaching. Tristan Webster, Associate in General Studies. Ilya Bondar, Associate in Computer Science. Cassidy Lance, Associate in Agriculture Animal Science with Honors. Malia Sweet, Associate in English with Honors. Elizabeth Carroll, Certificate in Computer Information Science. Kaylee Glaspie, Associate in Business. Felicia Santos Caffey, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Grace Lyon, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Hunter Morris, Certificate in Electronic Media Production. Alexis Edward Peterson, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies. Haley Blackburn, Associate in General Studies. Allison Hampton, Associate in Early Childhood Development. Amber Adams, Associate in General Studies. Kelly Newman, Associate in Business. Tabitha Radabaugh, Associate in General Studies. Chase Haley, Certificate in Welding Technology. Ethan Hicks, Associate in Business. Hayden Williams White, Associate in Industrial Systems Technology with Honors.
William Gavisk, Associate in Industrial Systems Technology. D'Artagnan Wolfgang Mann, Associate in Welding Technology with Honors. Ethan Metters, Associate in Electronic Media Production. Alexis Kepford, Associate in Behavioral Science with Honors. Austin Swearingen, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems. Ethan Swearingen, Associate in Auto Collision Repair Technology. Corey Williams, Certificate in Automotive Technology. Brendan Clark, Associate in Electronic Media Production. Cody Wiles, Associate in General Studies. Sarah Thelia, Associate in General Studies. Tara Frasher, a Certificate in Business Technology. Hannah Page Stewart, Associate in Accounting and Business Management. Joshua Dejoux, Specialization in Computer Information Science. Michael Green, Associate in Automotive Technology with Honors. Noah Thomas, Associate in Automotive Technology with Honors. Dalen Coonrod, Associate in Automotive Technology with Honors. Sean Gross, Associate in Automotive Technology with Honors. Matthew Davenport, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Jacob Robertson, Certificate in Electronic Media Production. Kel Wilson, Associate in Auto Collision Repair Technology. Zachary Marlowe, Associate in Business with Honors. Jesse Noel Anthony's, Associate in Welding Technology with Honors. Addison Kaiden Brophy, Certificate in Construction Technology. Austin Billier, Associate in Construction Technology. Amanda Nicole Sepperly, Associate in Automotive Technology with Honors. Kayla Hamilton, Associate in Accounting and Business Management with Honors. Gerald Phillips III, Associate in Electronical Distribution Systems with Honors. Zachary Evans, Associate in Electronical Distribution System with Honors. Devin Rackley, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems with Honors. Gabriel Justice Frost, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems with Honors. Kaysen Lee, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems. Jeremiah George, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems with Honors. Brett Stewart, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems with Honors. Jaron Hamilton, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems with Honors. Colton Crawford, Associate in Electrical Distribution Systems. Evan Henson, Certificate in Electrical Technician. Truett Holland, Associate in Electronic Media Production with Honors. Tyler James Truman Cribbs, Associate in Electronic Media Production. Connor Seltzer, Certificate in Auto Collision Repair Technology. David Kronberg, Certificate in Precision Machining Technology with Honors. Nathaniel Kessinger, Certificate in Precision Machining Technology with Honors. Noah John Major, Associate in Precision Machining Technology with Honors. Ryan Davis, Certificate in Precision Machining Technology. Hak Ming Martin Wu, Associate in Computer Information Science. Xander Dudley, Certificate in Auto Collision Repair Technology. Victoria Cox, Associate in Biological Clinical Science with Honors. Whitney Caldwell, Associate in Health Information Technology. Preston Robertson, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Aubrianne Golson, Associate in General Studies. Samantha Harris, Certificate in Early Childhood Development with Honors. Michaela Hall, Associate in Biology. Victoria Eubanks, Associate in General Studies. Abigail Lampkey, Certificate in Diesel Technology. Alexandra Nicole Jayberg, Associate in Social Work with Honors.
Ziegenbein.
Mackenzie Ziegenbein, Associate in General Studies with Honors. Mackenzie Kyle Shipley, Associate in Interdepartmental Studies. Lucid Jenkins, Associate in Networking Technology. Mason Ray, Associate in Electronic Media Production. Lonnie Alexis Michelle Waters, Associate in General Studies. Kennedy Meyer, Associate in Bioclinical Science with Honors. Sean Poppy, Associate in General Studies. Constance Stringer, Associate in General Studies. Joshua Dyke, Associate in General Studies. Evan Miller, Certificate in Automotive Technology. Lindsay Smith, Associate in Behavioral Health Support. Alyssa Moon, Associate in Health Information Technology with Honors. Michelle Bigley, Associate in General Studies. Connor Wilkinson, Associate in Business with Honors. Sean Bain, Associate in Teaching. Amanda Honor, Associate in Dental Assisting. Mickey Mooberry, Associate in Biological Clinical Science. Angela Enderson, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant with Honors. Priscilla Nakungu, Associate in Occupational Therapy Assistant. Jonathan Gittinger, Associate in Heating and Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. Vale Humphreys, Certificate in Auto Collision Repair Technology. Adriana Fuel, Associate in English with Honors. Stephanie Kepler, Associate in Business and Marketing. Bailey Steele, Associate in Business with Honors. Monica Money, Associate in Hearing Instrument Science. Skylar Steele, Associate in Social Work. Nicholas Bond, Associate in Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning with honors. Matthew Kaufman, Associate in Fire Science Technology. Karsten Finley, Associate in Fire Science Technology with honors. Josiah Hill, Associate in Fire Science Technology with honors. Cole Weidert, Associate in Fire Science Technology. Ariel Valika, Associate in General Studies. Madeline Eady, Associate in General Studies. Elizabeth Jane True Hill, Associate in General Studies with honors. Riley Kate Roast, Certificate in Bioclinical Science with honors. Isaac Paul Feebster, Associate in Manufacturing Technology with honors.
Let me be the first to welcome you to official membership in the Ozarks Technical Community College Alumni Association. Graduates, to signify your transition from student to graduate, you may turn your tassels from right to left. Graduates, you did it. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 graduating class of Ozarks Technical Community College. Audience, because the recessional is an integral part of the recession, please remain seated as the students leave.